The high ticket space has changed and webinars are back, but not in the way we used to do them in 2015, back in the day where it was all about drilling in pain, positioning yourself as the hero journey, all that kind of stuff. No. We're changing it up to where people feel really excited to come to your events. They get a specific outcome from joining that event. They get to participate and feel part of a community from being in your event. And they also are way more likely to buy your high ticket offers. So today I'm going to go over the assets you need for this high ticket webinar funnel that is going to work in 2025 and beyond. Now, if you're new to me, my name is Dr. Jackie Nolke. I own a high ticket Facebook ad agency, and I also run some high ticket mentoring programs. If you'd like to check any of that out, go to highticketmarketing.io and you can see all the ways I can help you in your business. So let's get into it. Again, if you're going to run a webinar, then it needs to be fun. It needs to be outcome focused, meaning your messaging around this webinar needs to let people know exactly what they're going to achieve by attending your webinar. And we want it to be very participatory, meaning it's not just you as a lecturer up there talking to the people. We want them to be able to participate, raise their hands, come up on the virtual stage, and feel like they're really a part of something. And not only are they going to leave feeling like they've accomplished, the whole purpose of this webinar is to build relationships and build that know, like, and trust really fast, right? We can build that in an hour when they are there live. So there are some assets that you're going to need to make this a super profitable launch strategy. We've been doing this in my agency and our clients are seeing fantastic results. Yes, as I'm recording this, we are even in the very end of an election cycle. There's been some other things going on in the news cycles that are very distracting, but even with all that, they've had their biggest launches ever. So I'm here to tell you that this does work no matter what else is going on in the world. This is a way that you can build that goodwill and that trust quickly. And so the assets that you'll need is, of course, your webinar, your actual webinar, that you're going to present live. This is a live virtual event. So you're going to do this live, and we have special tactics that will help you get people to show up live, which I'm going to be doing in a future video. But you want them to show up live and participate, because that, again, is how you're building that goodwill really fast. Buyers are more discerning now, and so they need to know you and they need to trust you. And more than anything, they need to know that you're the person that can get them to where they truly desire to be. So you have that, you have your slides or however you're going to present it. That's your number one asset. Then you are going to, of course, need a landing page that is built out strategically, again, with some ways that are going to really encourage them to show up live. And as far as the opt-in form, the form where they're going to put their name, their email, I would suggest a phone number and also their Instagram handle. And the reason we do this is we want multiple different avenues to reach out and make them feel special. So we want to make sure they feel special. And I'm going to go into that more in a minute, but we want different ways that we can contact them to let them know they're not just another number, but we really appreciate them showing interest. And we're really looking forward to helping them achieve the thing that we've promised they're going to achieve by coming to our live webinar. Then the thank you page, that also needs to be strategic. Give them something very specific to do, somewhere to hang out, to where they can start feeling like part of a community, right? We want this to feel like an actual event. Like when you go to an actual live event, we want it to feel very similar when they're coming to your virtual live event. Then we have a replay sales, and this is a new, unique way to approach this. Instead of, you might have heard of the paid launch formula where people pay to go to your workshop. Maybe it's a $47 workshop, things like that. We're not going to put that brick wall up above. We want as many people to come, to build goodwill, to refer us because they had such a good time in our event, and to get as much out of it. And we want them to come live. And one of our strategies to get them to come live is that the live is free, the replay is paid. And so, of course, people can pay for the replay if they would like. That's another way that you can help pay the cost of your leads. But the outcome has to be so juicy and the messaging has to be so clear that people are super pumped to come live. They want to come live, but it's also totally worth it to pay for it. So there's some strategies behind that as well. I'll be releasing in future videos. And then we get to our personalized welcome. Everybody that opts in, that puts in their name, email, phone number, Instagram handle to come to your live event, we want them to feel like $1,000,000. We want them to feel extremely special. And again, like they matter to us because they do, right? They do. And we want them to feel really, really welcomed. So we're going to reach out with voice messages, maybe even shoot a Loom video, something to welcome them, say their name, and help them feel really valued. This goes a long, long way when it comes to high ticket sales. And this is going to make a huge difference in your conversion numbers. Now let's back it up and talk about traffic, because you're going to need people to get to your landing page to put their opt-in so we can have all the rest of this funnel moving smoothly. And so, of course, I own an ad agency, so I am all about ads to get people into your funnel. And what I'm going to say about that is you really want to run ads to both your warm audience and cold. And again, messaging that's really, really focused on that outcome. And I actually recommend, people are all saying about broad targeting right now, test very specific targeting for this. We just had a client in a public speaking space getting leads for around $5-ish, and she even was getting their address, t-shirt size. And this is all because we were very, very specific in our detailed targeting. So we were getting those specific people who wanted to be speakers into her funnel. Your organic game is also going to be strong to really get this off and running. So if you have an organic audience, let's use that. Let's really use some type messaging. I like to use what I call my Michelin messaging framework to really get those high ticket buyers raising their hands and into your funnel. And so a few parts of those is you really want to focus on the desires. We're not drilling in the pain point. We're painting a very clear picture of the outcome and where they will be on the other side of our webinar. So right now they're here. Where are they going to be on the other side of that webinar? How does this tap into their true desires as far as financially, personally, business-wise, all the ways that this is going to help them tap into their desires and also increase some sort of status, whether that's how they how they look, how they are seen as a parent, their business. People are very driven by status, pleasures, desires, and we want to touch on that in our organic messaging. And so, of course, what you're sending the traffic is to that landing page, right? And then they go through this and they get your personalized welcome. Now, once they're in that email sequence, we want to make sure we really focus on building rapport. So what I've seen in the past is some people, unfortunately, just use the emails as kind of reminders, telling them what the webinar is going to be about. But we want to go a little bit deeper. We want to really showcase your expertise and really showcase how when they're in your presence, they're going to get results and get them excited about being live with you. And so we're going to give some value here and really build that rapport so they're even more likely to show up. And this is another one of those strategies that get people excited to show up live. And you guys, I just heard the stat today that when people show up live, they are 400% more likely to purchase. 400% more likely, you guys. So getting them live is a very crucial part of this funnel. Then, of course, you have your sales emails. And your sales emails, again, need to tell a story and really paint the picture of what their life is going to be like on the other side. We are not drilling in the pain point. Instead, we are using messaging that really shows them living in their desires through the work they're going to do with you. And so that is one key strategy to use in your sales emails. Hot outreach. So we don't want them to just show up to our webinar, do the things we teach them to do, and then we disappear. We need to follow up with people if we're going to be selling our high ticket offers. But this needs to feel in a way that's really comfortable and enjoyable for both you and the prospects. And a way to do that is just to follow up with them on specific things that they said during the webinar. Remember, this is super participatory. So they have participated, they have shared knowledge. You have a gold mine of market research just from their interactions on that webinar. Use that with your research, reference exactly what they said to start conversations around your offer in a way that feels good for everybody. And then the last thing, but definitely not least, are our retargeting ads. We want to make sure you are staying omnipresent. Stay omnipresent during your launch cycle. So this means having ads up in the feed that are talking about not only your offer, but also specifically how it's going to help your clients. And we just want to stay really omnipresent. And so that, a lot of people have a lot of stuff going on. We want to make sure that they don't forget about your offer. And if it's right for them, they choose you. So these are the assets that we do for our clients in our marketing agency. Of course, if you need help with this, we will do this all for you. Or if you want to join the high ticket inner circle, my mentorship, I will mentor you through this. But go to highticketmarketing.io and we will help you out. Talk soon.